On tonight's show, we have radio personality, promoter, and fashion entrepreneur, Ms. Dia. And now for your host, KoolKard. What's up, good people? We're back in the building. Episode 17, 16's in the bag. We are back. What day of quarantine is it? I don't know. I done lost my mind. But I hope everyone is doing well. If you know anybody who's affected, man, send out some prayers. I'm praying for everybody. I just hope we can get through this thing, make it out on the other side. Everybody can get their jobs back, man. You got people out here, 10 million unemployment filings. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. I know a couple people that got let go today. And then all the deaths, man, like New York is really getting hit hard. So let's just say some prayers, throw some prayers up out there. And listen, this show is about bringing you value. I got some value for you today. So if you haven't been affected with your employment, you probably know somebody who has. So I have a list. See this right here? I got a list of some companies who are hiring. So I'm going to read off the list. Now, it's not going to be posted in the description, but I will put it on my Instagram story, and I'll have it up there for like 4 days straight. So if you want to go and check it out, go check me out. KoolKard, Cool with a K, Card with a K. Check my story, and you can take a screenshot of it, and you can share that with your people, because I know it can be very useful to somebody. All right. So, all right, go through the list real quick, and then we're gonna get going. All right. Who is hiring right now is Aetna, Amazon, Angel List, A Place for Mom, Apple, Collage.com, CVS, Dollar General, Domino's, DoorDash, FlexJobs, Grubhub, Humana, Instacart, Intuit, Kelly Services, Kroger, Lionbridge, Live Ops, Nielsen, OutSchool, PagerDuty, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Publix, and Redox. They're all hiring, y'all. So there is employment out there if you have been struck with the furlough or the layoff. There's opportunity. So don't fold. You will get through it. It will be all right. Okay? Because there is opportunity out there. Okay. So like I said, I'll have this up on my story. Y'all can go check that. Take a screenshot. Share it. Hey man, sharing is caring. Let's build everybody up. Let's lift everybody up. All right. So we're gonna get into the show. Last week we had Will Bradford, male model from Wilhelmina, one of my good friends from college. Man, he's doing great things in the modeling industry. He's doing great things in just corporate America, working for the Players Tribune. So y'all make sure you check him out, show him some love. His Instagram handle is will.entmoney. ENT Money is a website that he has, a financial website that he's going to be relaunching, so you make sure you keep an eye out for that. Now, this week, we're going radio. I'm on the radio. I used to. This week, we're going radio. We're going to talk radio entrepreneurship. I have Miss Dia coming on the show. I've known her for a long time, and she also knows Will, so it's crazy. Back-to-back weeks. Got two people, kind of grew up together. But yes, we're going to talk radio. We're going to talk entrepreneurship. We're going to talk fashion. We're going to talk spoken word. We're going to talk everything because she has her hands in everything. She out here hustling, y'all. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to give her a good, quick intro, and we're going to bring her in. All right. Hold on. Didn't hit it. Yes, indeed, Miss Dia.
Oh, not that night.
Yes. You had many a night.
Oh, that was a fun one. That was one of our I Love Rap shows where we performed some of our favorite rap songs. So that was a fun one there.
Yes, indeed, man. It's good having you on the show. It's been a minute.
I know. Thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, I got to pay it forward and I got to pay it back because thank you for giving me that opportunity to get on the radio with you. Because,
yeah,
hey, you gave me a shot, you know?
Yeah, we had fun. We had fun time.
Yeah, we did, man. We did. Yo, you have been on the radio for how long now?
Well, actually, yeah, forever. I started my freshman year in college.
Wow.
I had decided not to go home. I went to college up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, up at Western Michigan University,
Okay.
and I just didn't want to go back to Detroit for the summer, so I stayed up there. And while there, I started doing my radio show, and I kind of never stopped since then. So soon after I graduated, I moved down here to Atlanta, and someone told me about WRFG, and after college, I was thinking that I wanted to do commercial radio, but when I found WRFG here in Atlanta, I was like, "Oh, this is me all day."
You get a little bit
So,
more freedom too, right?
hey, man, it was freedom time. Come on. So yeah, so I started back in 1998 and have been doing it ever since.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
99. Sorry.
Dang, girl, you've been doing it.
We try, we try.
Stable in the community. So, man, listen, let's go back to Michigan real quick because I mentioned Will. You grew up with Will, Spice Adams, and
Yeah,
yeah, and a bunch of people who actually I know he has a couple people who play ball. So I know you probably know him and all that.
Ron Johnson. Yeah,
That
he's in us.
crazy.
Um, Yeah, so Spice, that's my cousin, and it's funny because I before he became popular, online, like so while he was still playing football and everything, I used to be telling people all the time, I'm like, man, y'all had to see my cousin when we were in middle school. He was huge, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he was a big boy, and he used to do stuff like like we would be walking through the hallways, and he would like act as if an underclassman made him fall. So he'd go falling all dramatic, all into the lockers, drop his books and all that stuff. And then he'd get up and turn like he about to go chase them. And man, if y'all could have seen some of their faces, it used to be hilarious. So, so the same Spice that y'all see in these crazy videos has been the Spice that we've known all our lives. Like our parents had us go to middle school and we went to high school together. I met Will in high school. Amazing brother, another amazing brother. I'm so proud of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we happened to graduate from Detroit's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School. You got to say the whole name. His name slick back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all just had a high school reunion on Zoom, right?
yeah, man. So let me tell you. So okay, in 19, dang, what year was this? 2019, 2018. I'm so confused on all this stuff. But in 2008 was our 20-year reunion, and I was our class president. And I always took that serious. Like even back then when we ran for it, I took it serious. I was in my mind thinking that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do our 10-year reunion, our 20. That was all that was on my mind, making sure that we had dope reunions.
Yeah.
So our class reunion really did, like, we had a mission for our 20 year. We wanted to make sure that people understood that, like, time is of the essence. It's important that we, I'm saying, embrace each other and all that, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, 20 to 30 year is going to change a lot. And God forbid we lose a lot of people.
Yeah.
But in reality, you know what I'm saying? You lose people in those 40 to 50 years.
Yeah.
So we just took it real serious, and we painted the city black and gold. It was amazing. I like to think that we inspired a lot of the other schools, because after they saw how we were, like, we had our little slogan. It was "This is us 98," because if you know the TV show This Is Us,
Yeah.
they are the same age as us. They graduated from high school in 98 too. So it was
Oh,
it
wow.
all
Okay.
just lined up. It was beautiful. Yeah. So the other day last week we decided to have a party on Zoom just to, get through this. We prayed, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
Yeah.
prayed and then we partied. Party. And we're gonna do another one. I just got Ron Johnson just sent me a message like, "Hey, I'm ready for our next one."
Oh, how many people were on there?
You know what? It wasn't a whole lot of people. I'd say probably about 40.
Dude, that's enough.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, when you graduated with like 400, you know.
Well, yeah, you ain't gonna get everybody, but yeah, I mean, that's a good little chunk of it, though.
Yeah, and they seem to everybody just enjoyed it. Like, it's just it's
So,
just good to smile during this time.
so next time around, it'll probably be larger because people gonna catch wind
Yeah.
and be like, oh, like you said, Ron Johnson hit you up like, yo, let's do it. So
Uh
probably
huh.
gonna have more people jump up in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. So you, since you're a
Hmm.
personality and spoken word and all that hosting and you know, were you like the loudmouth kid or the sassy girl when you were growing up? Cause you got
You
a
know
mouth
what's
on
so
you. You got a mouth on you now.
you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? And I swear I was thinking about this earlier today. I was like, there are a few gentlemen that I've met in my older years that they're not too fond of me and stuff because
Right.
I've never been afraid to I don't know. I feel like Eminem and Jay-Z, like I never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. But no, ever since I was a little girl, like growing up east side, west side of Detroit. I grew up with a lot of male cousins around me, like my god brother, may he rest in peace. William, got to give a huge shout out to Will Messenger. He was very, very he made sure that I wasn't afraid. I just wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so I don't try to star a mess. I'm not one of those like, oh, I like to be petty or I like to be smart mouth.
Right.
I don't like that. But if it's something I don't agree with, like, no, I ain't gonna sit here and just be quiet while y'all talking foolish.
Right. Right. So, all right. So let's jump into the radio in Atlanta. What made you move to Atlanta? Because it was like what right after college, right?
Yeah, it was right after college, and as mentioned, grew up east side of Detroit, and when I went to college, just one, it made me see that the world was bigger than Detroit, and then where I grew up at, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
So I was, finding out about all the different people that were getting killed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I was about, when I graduated and went back home, like honest to God, I just never been that afraid. And I never been afraid of Detroit. And I became afraid of it. Like every time, not even just when I left my house, while I was in the house. And I don't want to speak bad on my city because I love my city. My city made
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
but just the reality is, we grew up in a time where, streets is watching and stuff had fellas thinking that, oh yeah, we gonna kill the girls too. We gonna snatch up their
What?
girlfriends. No, you know what I'm saying? So like really, it was just like for me, I was
Wow.
afraid. And I went to my pastor and I was telling him, I said, look, I need to move. I don't know where. Um, and he had asked me, he said, what about Atlanta? And I was like, no, I don't like Atlanta because I've been down here once. And when I
Yeah.
came, no disrespect to anybody, but I just wasn't used to seeing, like guys dressed fully like women and all that stuff. Like we had went to Lennox and I was like, like, what is all of this?
Yeah.
It was just a lot for me. I wasn't used to that. So I had totally was like, no, I'm straight. But right after he told me that, I ended up going, this was Thanksgiving, like the day after or the night of, some of my friends, we all got together, and one of my good friends, Harlan, he was living here, and his fiance was living in DC, and he had ended up, he wanted to move, where she was.
Mm.
So he was telling us, and he was just like, man, yeah, he's like, I got to leave Atlanta. He's like, I just don't want to break my lease.
Right.
And I was like, I'll take it, just like that. So I didn't know, I didn't have a job, didn't know what. I was just like, I'll take it. So I went told my mama. My mama at first she thought I was playing until she tried to push this whole like, okay, well if you gonna move, I need you to come up with half of what you owe him for the rest of the lease
Mm.
because I want you getting down there, and then I'm saying you're not coming up with the money and you setting him, getting him in trouble financially and all this stuff.
Right.
So man, I started making bath salts. Not the ones that had people biting your face off, but I started making smell goods and all that stuff, and I was just selling them to all my friends, like trying to come up with that money. And I had planned a to-go party, and when I planned my to-go party, one of my good friends, Sparkle, she was like, "I want to come too." So I was like, "All right, well, let's go." So that made it where I only had to come up with half
Right.
of the half that I had to
Right.
come up. So it was cool. We came up with our money, and then we moved on down here, at first we only had a 1 bedroom, so for every week we would alternate. Like she could have the room one week, then the next, I have the couch, and then we just alternated until the lease was up, and we, moved to a 2 bedroom.
Yep.
So it was just one of those. The stars just lined up, and I stepped out on faith.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. So okay, so let's fast forward to WRFG. Hold on. First and foremost, hold on. You got to look at the camera. I can't have you on here looking cockeyed. You looking over to the side. People gonna be
Oh,
like,
wait,
"Is
wait,
he
wait.
cockeyed?" Where's your camera at? Hold on. Look right
Um,
there. Look right there.
am I looking at the
There
camera
you
now?
go. Now you're looking at the
See,
camera.
if I look at the camera, that mean I can't. I mean I can't look at you, or I
You
can't see me right now.
you
It's like
can
no.
you can
Okay,
glance
okay,
off a little bit, but you gotta look at the camera because people gonna think you cockeyed.
okay. I'm not cockeyed, y'all. Just crooked teeth.
Talking at the
Okay.
side of my neck right
He
now.
ain't messed me up like that. Damn.
Hey, I gotta get you right on here. You know we keep it real. Gotta
Right,
get you
right.
right. Gotta get you right. You do the same for me.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
So let's okay. Let's get into WRFG because WRFG it is an FM station, 89.3 FM WRFG. That man, that radio station is basically like historical, right? Because it's been
Yeah.
here for a
Hmm.
long time. And let me ask you
Over
this:
45.
since say what?
Over 45 years. I think it's 40 now. 46 or 47.
And a lot of people have come through there. Now, before we get into it, are you like the longest standing active personality there now?
Oh
No?
no, not at all. Not at all. To be honest, I'm probably in the middle. Like I'm still a little bit treated like a baby around there because we have blues shows and jazz shows. So a lot of, those
Old time.
personalities,
Them the old timers.
they've been there since it started pretty
That's
much.
therapy. That's they getaway. They
They get away.
come to the stage
Yeah.
and spin. Probably put one in the air.
Yeah. Talk too much. They know. You're talking too much now. Shut.
Hey, that's just speculation. That's just speculation. Don't give it away.
Right, right.
But so you said you fell in love with that over commercial radio. Why?
Yeah. Um, so when I started doing radio back in college,
Mhm.
initially it was about having fun. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of, well, I never only played what commercial radio was playing, but initially, I'm saying I'm 18, 19 years old and stuff. So I was playing mostly what commercial radio was playing, and then just other songs like B-side
Right.
songs, stuff from the same artist. And then my degree, I did a dual degree in organizational communications and African studies. And when my African studies, when I started taking that part serious, I had to understand that it was nothing to play around with.
Okay.
That when it came to this music, you know what I'm saying, like
Had to represent for your people the right way.
how to represent for your people. So it, and it's funny because one of my best friends, I got to give her a huge shout out today. It's her birthday, Marilyn, aka Mooch Greedy.
Happy
She,
birthday.
you're right, and
Eh,
my dad today's his birthday too. Hey, happy birthday, Pop!
Happy birthday,
Um,
Pappy.
but she used to beg me to play Most Def, and I'd be, I ain't playing him. He born and da 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 and all this. I wouldn't play Most Def, or I would just wait to the last. Like, okay, throw me, and when I got to use the bathroom, go to the
Right.
bathroom. You know. And then it was crazy because once, like I said, once I started taking being a black woman serious, I started doing just making sure that my show was balanced. So we still played, Jay-Z and stuff like that. But then we, made sure we also played an equal amount of Quali, Most Def, Dead Prayers and stuff like that. So when I moved down here, like I said, in my mind, I was a dreamer at first. Like, oh yeah, I can go to commercial radio and show them that you can be smart and cool
Mm,
and all this stuff. But then it was like I just didn't feel like fighting. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like I was talking it and talking with people and stuff, and I'm like, I would prefer doing what I'm wanting to do at the moment instead of like fighting, hoping that one day they'll hear us and then they'll give us a show. So I'm like, in the meantime, let's just do what we want to do. And WRFG gave us that opportunity, and I love them for that. Like love that
That's
station
what
for
you
that.
got to do, man. And I say this to a lot of people who come on the show. It's just like you can't sit there with your feet planted. You just got to move. You can't wait
Mhm,
on people to give you that bone. You got to go create your own,
mhm.
create value for yourself. And then eventually they'll come along. And now for
Yeah.
you, I spoke to you years ago about that. And you were just like, you know what? I don't think I want to do commercial. I like what I'm doing because I have the freedom to play what I want to play. I'm putting on for my people.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you, I think it's more gratifying to just be able to play, to really, to essentially do what radio should be anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. That's cool. So go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, and then too, every time I considered going, somebody would drop an album, and I'm like, yo, if I go over there and it take me a year to finally, what I'm saying, get something going, my people gonna miss this whole album. And what I'm saying, and it didn't help being in a city where the independent artists were putting out bangers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we do a hip hop and R&B show, and I'm in a city where Nestle live. If y'all are familiar with the battle
Yeah.
rapping and stuff, Lee is here. Four Eyes, Jaron Benson. I used to do shows, we did plenty of shows like with all of them. So you just had so much great music coming out of this city. So for me, it was always like, hey, we good. Like, we can go a little harder and we could get more support, which I truly wish our people believed in supporting the independents.
Yeah.
I believe that we should get a lot better with that. So, it's always give or take. It's always the good, the bad. But for me, the good always outweighed the bad when it came to doing the show.
Yeah. And real quick,
Mhm.
plug your show. What's the name of your show and what days of the week are you on? Times.
So it's called The Show, ATL Radio. And we're on Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. So we're on midnight until 3 in the morning. Right now we're, trying to figure out this whole with everything that's going on. We're trying to incorporate technology a little bit more. So right now my co-host, he goes into the studio, and then I like just check in and stuff via Instagram or whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're on midnight to 3 in the morning, Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, and it's a hip hop R&B/talk program. So every show we do a talk segment. So it's just it's a bunch of fun. We support independent artists. So if you have music, we also support business owners, authors, just a little bit of everybody. So if you'd like to be on the show, you can always email us at the show atlradio@gmail.com.
Or hit her up at Pretty Dope Dia on
Yes.
Instagram. Hit in
D-
DM.
Don't be sliding in them DMs, shouty. Right now. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And that's crazy because that's where I guess that's how I met you, right? I came up there for an interview because I used to do my, do the
Do a little rapping.
and I slid in here like, hey, I'm thinking about doing radio. Can you throw your boy a bone? And then Earl Grey was birthed, and then Earl Grey
Earl Grey with the T.
still sipping.
Right. Yeah, but we have good times. I've been fortunate enough to have some amazing people
Yeah.
co-host through the years with me, yourself, Corey Zooman Miller, who is y'all know the comedian. Carlos Miller from Wild 'N Out. He was my co-host at one time. Dres the Beatnik, Chicago Realist. So I've been fortunate. I've loved what we've done. I truly. Mm-hmm.
And then you've had a couple artists who've come on there who've gone on to do some good things too, right? Can you talk about a couple of them?
Oh yeah. Shoot, as mentioned, your Jaron Benson, for those who's familiar in the hip hop world, Jaron, again, Nestle, um, Rhapsody,
Yeah.
and they all came through some time ago. Black Milk from out of Detroit, Boog Brown.
Then you have Killer Mike too.
Oh yeah. We had Killer Mike down there. I mean, well, as far as some of my favorite artists, we've had Killer Mike, pretty much everybody from Goody Mob except CeeLo.
Okay.
But Timo, Cujo, whenever they have new music, I love them so much for supporting RFG. You know what's interesting about them? Especially Timo and Cujo, especially. They'll let it be known to artists every time they come down there, like, y'all stop sleeping on a station like RFG.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times because it's not commercial radio, people like, oh, you know, they kind of treat it like they doing us a favor by coming down there. Like, yeah, I just want to come show you some love. Like, you
Right.
ain't showing me love. Like, I mean, when you talking about artists like them, but I'm talking our independent artists. You know what I'm saying? Like they, you know, they don't quite understand that like this is 100,000 watt radio that's independent.
Right.
So yeah, so it's just been, you know, it's been a blessing being able to have them down there. KRS-One, my favorite interview, and it's so crazy because I always say if I could go back to a day, I had Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with her, but she, Fear of a Black Planet, amazing, beautiful woman. She passed away a couple years ago. But I had her on the line, and at the time, I remember her from years ago being on TV, but I didn't put two and two together that that's who I had on the phone. And man, I'm telling you, every time I think about the fact that I had Dr. Weldon on the phone and didn't know what to do with it, like, oh, but you know, it's all good. Hey,
Hey, God knows your heart.
you know my heart, you know.
What about Janelle Monáe? Because I know she's out of Atlanta. You ever interview her?
You know what? I haven't had her on the show, but I did. Do a performance with her before, and I also hosted a show that she was our headliner.
Okay.
Yeah, Black Girls Rock.
So I know you do like 50 million things. You like hustle. So when did you decide to start promoting the open mics? Because you had like one of the longest running open mics at the legendary Apache Cafe, which they done tore down for some condos. But
oh, ain't that crazy?
yeah, man. So what kind of sparked you to or motivated you to do that? I mean, because I guess it's
Yeah,
for the independent artist, right?
yeah. Well, okay. So I started back in college,
Okay.
and I wasn't inspired that my co-host at the time, big shout out to Ezra. We both had to come up with our car note, and we were like, "Oh, we need to do something to make us some money." And we didn't quite understand just how much pull we had because we were in a small town.
Mm,
But at that time, there were no hip hop shows on commercial radio. So our show was kind of like it's Monday night, Martin coming on, or you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
something like that. So you know, we just on air had this while in the studio decided like, hey y'all, we gonna have a blaze battle, which was an MC battle. We came up with the date like the next week. And you know, we both walked out of there with about him, and then our other promoter walked out with about a good $400-500. And we was like, yo. And I was so mad because this was like right before I graduated. And I'm like, man, I could have been balling up in here.
Right.
But when I got down here, I had Sundays at Apache used to be amazing. Like for me to just move down here, and it just used to be heaven because it was mainly spoken word, but then you had a lot of vocalists. So like Philippia used to be in there every week. You had MCs, you know, Jaws, big shout out to him.
Yep.
But then it was, you know, it was home for us poets. And I used to, I used to go down there every Sunday, perform, and then I was asked to host the first Sundays, which was Ladies' Night.
Mm-hmm.
So I started hosting that, and I put it in just a little bit more than what was expected, and then I just started doing my own events, and then that led to me doing booking for the club.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did booking for them for, a little over a year or almost two. And then I said, no, I think I'll just do my own event.
Right, yeah.
so yeah, so we've done a number of different events down there. And it was really I never been the type to focus on, promising the artist anything except for money. So, money. And so we would do we did an Apollo show for over 10 years down there. And, we would give away either $200 or $400 every month. And then we did we just did a bunch of other different shows. But for me, it was always about allowing the artists to have a platform, having a place where they can come work on their craft, and then build up their fan base.
Your show was like the escape, and I'm gonna tell you why. because
Thank you,
because
brother.
because when I was out there doing it, there were a lot of vultures who
Mm,
were killing us, banking
mhm,
on our hope and our dreams to make it big, and everybody had a showcase that you had to pay $500, $600, $700 because they were gonna
damn,
have
I missed out.
Jazzy Faye there. They were gonna have Toomp there. They were gonna have this, that, and the third there, and you could get studio time with them and work on their new project, and the list
Mm,
went on, and you didn't get any of that.
mhm,
None of it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just so many people trying to take advantage. But with your show and your events, you could go there, and really just perform without the pressure and a
mhm.
good audience. And it was your peers, but it was peers that wanted to hear good music. It wasn't peers that just
Yeah,
sit there and look at you and wait for their time to go up on stage. Because that's
yeah,
all that was when they would do those shows and you had to pay $500, $600. It's just a bunch of artists in the room and they're not really supporting you. You know?
yeah.
And then the people that they said they were gonna show up to judge and give you all this stuff, they
And so,
maybe one would show up.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? But with your event, it was just organic. People showing love. You go in there, pay your little $10 cover, put it in the pot. If you win, boom, you took the pot. And
yeah,
it was nothing hidden. It wasn't no hoodwink. You know what I'm saying? Bait and switch, none of that. So I
mhm,
could appreciate you and your events for that, man, because it was a breath of fresh air when people were just taking advantage. I'm talking that went on for what, about 2 years, maybe three.
yeah. They were out. Yeah, yeah.
Man.
They were getting. And I ain't gonna front though. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know I ain't gonna lie. I do. I There were times where I would regret that I cared so much because during that time I got evicted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've been evicted. I lost my car. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot because I didn't know how to see people that I cared about and I wanted to see succeed. I didn't know how to ask them, "Hey, could you pitch in a little something to make this event happen?" Because I do got to rent the club, pay the DJ, get the flyers and all that stuff. So now it has definitely changed how I do business, but I still have integrity. So what I'm
yeah,
saying, I'll never be somewhere trying to get over on people.
yeah.
But I did have to put me in the equation because for so long I didn't care what happened to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't care that I walked out of there with less than what I came in with.
Hey,
How am I, even with a full house, but in my mind I was, oh, but I just love them and I know they got a new project and I know they got to pay for studio time. So I want to pay them this and so it's all good. My network is stupid solid right now. So,
oh,
I,
your network always been good.
what I'm saying, I mean,
Nah, hey, everybody show you love. Everybody respect you. But the thing is, that's why they respect you though. Because
mm,
of heart, because you never tried to get over on people. You know what I'm saying? Even if they didn't know what you were going through for you giving so much and
yeah,
kind of taking from yourself, they didn't know what you were going through. But God rewards you for that. And that's why
yeah.
you're still here and you still doing your thing. You hustling your incense and you hustling your
Hey,
jewelry and your bags and all that. And
oh,
I'm gonna let you show some of that off in a minute too. But you know what I
yeah.
want you to do?
What's that?
I need a quick little poem. I need some spoken word.
My cash app is at pretty. My cash app. Now, I will do a little piece. This is just a real short piece, and I do this because of where we're at right now.
All right.
If you're just tuning in, we talked a lot about Detroit earlier. I am born and raised in Detroit, and with this, pandemic and stuff that we're dealing with, Detroit has been hit really, really hard. We've been getting news now that they want to try new drugs and stuff on patients in Detroit. But Detroit,
What?
we've been dealing with that for yeah. They oh
They
yeah,
treat y'all
yeah.
like lab rats or something? Like
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, in real life, this is what's happening. But this is what we've been dealing with in Detroit for a very long time. Detroit is real proud people, and a lot of people always laugh like, if you meet somebody from Detroit, they gonna tell you. But y'all have to understand that when if you saw the film Detroit, where they talk about where we had the race riots and stuff, um, back in the day, Detroit ended up being super black. Like when we grew up,
Yeah.
I grew up in my class, it was 400 of us, and that was only my graduating class. So school was pretty big, and I say it's probably two non-black students in my class.
Dang.
So yeah, it was just us, in Detroit, and we were surrounded by all type of hate.
Yeah.
Like we knew if you cross over this street and go into this city, the police just sitting there, or whenever we would have football and basketball games, the type of like, we talked junk and stuff. We wanted our team to win, but the type of hatred that came from them, it was just different. So for us, it's always been kind of like a Detroit versus everybody. Although I hate that idea, that is really how we came up.
Yeah.
So right now, between them trying to use our city to test out these new drugs, and just know, the water crisis and stuff, because it didn't just hit Flint. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty cities in the Detroit and areas around and stuff where their water is bad too. So I had this little piece, and it's called The Drummer, because, for our people, it's always about us keeping our head up high and, just marching to our drum beat and keep on moving. Okay?
All right.
So it's real short, real simple.
Uh,
Like the heartbeat racing at a steady pace, we beat our drum. And like a toddler's feet pace as they steadily race, we beat our drum. When the director signaled that it's time to march on, we beat our drum. When we hear the flutes cry out, the trumpets blow, and the trombones moan, we beat our drum. In the summer's heat, covered completely by the sun, we do not miss a beat, nor my folks hot as they beat their drum. And in the winter's frost, with no trace of the sun, our tempo is hardly lost. Yeah, we cold as we beat our drum. Whether it's morning's daylight and the whole world's watching, or it's the darkest hour of the night without a soul in sight, we beat our drum with our heads towards the sun. We beat our drum as we face the sun. We beat our drum to the day we see his son, the drummer.
dope.
Thank
Dope.
you.
Dope deal.
Thank you. So that's for our people. Snap, snap, say no. But that's for our people. Y'all keep your heads up. Keep beating. I know it's tough. A lot of people, we losing a lot of people and stuff right now. So I send my condolences out to everyone, and just know that we gotta do a little better for ourselves. So we gotta be eating better. We gotta cut a lot of this dairy and cheese, especially my Detroit people. I've been talking to them a lot about that. Like that cheese is hurting us right now. You know what I'm saying? All that mucus and stuff that it creates is
Yeah.
very difficult for us to fight off any flu, any viruses, and all that stuff when you got all that mucus in your body. So I know it's hard because we love us some chili fries with cheese up in Detroit.
That's what
Man,
what Dr. Seppi said.
yeah,
Comes from all that mucus.
that mucus, it'll do it. It'll do it. I called myself being bad the other day. I had some little Oreo sandwich ice cream. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat them all at one time so I can get all of the dairy that I do. Because you know what, God is good. Because I never liked dairy. Ever since my auntie, she told me, she said when I was a baby, I used to be throwing milk bottles. She said I hated milk and all that stuff. But yeah, the other day I had to eat up all my little ice cream because I was like, after this, I don't need anything that's gonna cause any harm to the body right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. They had you in there hiking up a whole bunch of phlegm.
I know, man. That's why I got that. I got that garlic and ginger tea. I got that.
Yeah,
I make that on the daily.
yeah, me too. We've been in here sipping.
Yeah,
For real,
for real.
got to. Hey,
Yeah.
real quick before we get into, I want you to, be able to promote your jewelry and other stuff that you do. Real quick, because I like to give value to the end user, to whoever's watching. If someone is out there and they're thinking about getting into radio, like what's the easiest way to go about that? If they've surpassed college already and they don't have the opportunity to do college radio, what would be the easiest way for them to kind of get their feet wet in that?
I would check whatever city you're in and see if they have independent non-commercial radio stations.
Okay.
Those stations now they operate different. Some of them you just have to, maybe pay like a yearly membership fee,
Mm,
which is usually not much. A lot of them is under $100.
okay.
And then other ones you may have to pay for your show, or either just get sponsors, get underwriting for it. But I would totally recommend people, like I said, checking out your non-commercial stations
Okay.
and your AM stations, because there's a lot of talk programs and stuff on AM stations, and a lot of these stations they need help. They need people to come and help with production. And the thing is, a lot of times when people are interested in radio, they think they're like, okay, yeah, this is something I want to do, so I'm gonna go, and then in a week I'm gonna have my show.
Right.
This is really how a lot of people think. And you have to keep in mind, because I tell people this all the time, like there are a few times, few people like yourself, that when they come down, it's like, yeah, I don't put them through a long, strenuous, like, hey, you got to get to know this, because, when it's given to them people that easy, they don't understand how big it is.
Yeah.
Like, you're asking to go on somebody's broadcast, whereas you could say something that could get this small station fined,
Yep.
and they don't have the money to pay that fine, and that station is gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So do your due diligence. Like, if you're really interested in radio, learn about radio, learn what you can't say.
Mm,
Practice, do all that stuff, but go in there looking to, as Minister Server would say, big shout out to him, looking to serve, looking to give, looking to see what you can do to help make that show bigger, or help make that station bigger. And then it'll all work out for you. But I would definitely check with your non-commercial radio stations, and all of those are all of the, your 88 point this up to like your 90, I think it's 91.5, something like that.
no.
But yeah, just do that.
Okay. So,
Oh, sorry,
so,
one other thing.
huh?
I'm sorry, one other thing.
Okay.
Also, your internet stations.
Yeah.
Check with your internet shows. People producing shows online, because you learn just as much, and a lot of times you have a bigger audience and stuff. So look for people that's doing it, so that you can go and learn from them, and then do your thing.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll be on an internet station tomorrow. Actually,
Sweet.
30. I'll be on there. Y'all check me out. I gotta look up the show name. I done forgot. Let me
I knew
hold on now. Hold on. It's
See how
called.
they do you?
Hold on. No. So I'm looking it up though. Let's get it all out with Chica
I
Simone
know that's right.
and Dan Dieter, I think his name is. I'll be on there 10:30. It's on X Squad Online Radio. So y'all go
Mm,
download the app, the Spreacher. It's the Spreacher app, the podcast app. Download that and find Let's Get It All Out. Yes.
I like that. I like that title.
So I'll be
I like
they'll be
that.
interviewing me. I'll be kicking it with them for like an hour, talking good stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll be my turn to get interviewed. So that'll be cool. It'll be fun. So shout out
I
to
know that, like, this is fun. I never get a chance to get interviewed like this.
yeah, man. It's cool. And look, I'm gonna be doing like a year end wrap up. So you'll probably be one of the people I'll call back on. It's kind of yeah.
Probably.
I'll call you back on, woman.
I'm confused.
I gotta have you back on. You gave me my shot. You gave me my shot.
I'm
You
confused.
started
Probably.
all this.
Probably. Ain't that a, ain't that a fee?
My bad. I'll have you back on, dear.
Thank you. I appreciate
All
it.
right, so listen. Before we wrap it up, I gotta cover two more things. I want you to show off your jewelry,
Okay.
sell it, sell it, sell it, and then just tell me your involvement in Dilla Day and the A, real quick.
Oh,
You know?
okay. Okay. So real quick, as I get my jury ready, I just did a poem. I am a poet, and I got to give a huge shout out to a collective that I am a part of. It's called Adam's Rib, and it was started by Georgia Meat. If you're familiar with Georgia Meat, y'all already know what time it is. But amazing sisters that came together. We're all poets and stuff, and we just, we do shows, but we also support our community a lot. So big shout out to my Adam's Rib family. Okay, so some years ago, I saw a cigar box that was turned into a purse, and it just blew my mind. This was when I first moved down here, so this was about 15, 16 years ago. It had Marilyn Monroe on it, and I thought that was cute and stuff. But me having having a degree in African studies.
Had to do it for
I
your
was like,
people.
what if it had Billie Holiday on it? Or what if it had Dorothy Dandridge on it?
Right.
You know? So my first one, I put Billie Holiday on it, and it blew my mind how many people didn't know who Billie Holiday was.
Right.
I'm like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Of all people, I just knew. I said, oh yeah, they'll know Billie Holiday. So I began making them, and when I started, I was a little whack, just a little bit. The idea was dope and everything, but I didn't know how to work with resin and everything. I was just doing like a varnish, cover on it and everything. But I learned how to work with resin, and now I do absolutely love them. So I take cigar boxes like this one right here.
Let's check that thing out.
So you see this cigar box, just a plain old box, and I turn it into something like this, if you can see. So
Oh, oh,
um, I love Nipsey Hussle, that, and it's funny because people always tell me, well, you'll probably really sell them if you put this person and that person. I'm like, if I put that person, you got to pay it in advance because that's not somebody I like. So I only put people that I love on. No, because for me, seriously, it's important that we keep these names alive because we think that like, oh, because they were, popular here, they're gonna be popular forever. Like a Michael Jackson or something, who I love. I'm like, if we don't continue showing their faces, people gonna forget about them.
yeah,
So this one I made for a friend. I don't know if y'all can see it well,
yeah.
but he said, D, I want one with some, with all of the strong men on it. So I got Malcolm and Marcus and
Oh, that's
and
Malcolm. That silhouette look like Raphael Sadiq, girl.
right,
Oh,
looking
yeah, yeah.
like
Okay,
Raphael.
okay. I see it now. All
But
right.
but I do them for men. So men, you can use them to put your, what I'm saying, your jewelry in, your keys. You can have it at the front where you keep your keys and stuff. I do them for ladies as handbags. So this is like a little purse with the Dorothy Dandridge.
That's dope.
Thank you. But yeah, so you can use it pretty much for anything. And I tell ladies at nighttime, you see these edges, they're really, really sharp. So at nighttime or whenever, if somebody try to get you, you can pop them right in it. You can get them right in their eye.
Defense mechanism.
And then I do earrings and stuff to match. So if you can see those.
Yeah. Who's that? Prince up there? We got Prince. Yep. Prince.
Yep.
Mm,
Yep. And what I've been doing though lately is I've been doing a whole, you can have them for free since we're all here and we're at home and bored. I'm giving away everything for free. You just have to pay the shipping and handling. And the shipping and handling varies depending on the style of the purse and all that stuff.
okay.
So yeah, so if you visit my Instagram at Pretty Dope Dia, Pretty Dope, and then Dia spelled DIA like day, or either Detroit in Atlanta. I have posted there, and you can see how you can get some. I also have an Etsy shop, but all of that the Etsy link is in my bio.
Okay. Cool, cool. And I'll put it in the description too. And you
Okay,
see
thank you so much
right
for
there.
that. And I do customize them. I customize them. So if you have one that you want to put your mom or your children on, all you have to do is email me the pictures, and I do customize them. I can kind of put the picture in there with the box so it's not covering the whole cigar box.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope. What
thank you.
earrings made out of?
Well, they're wood, but they're very lightweight
Okay.
because I don't play around with my who.
Oh,
You're not ripping mine up.
those saggy lobes split up like a booty.
Yeah. No, no, no. Mm-mm. So they're very lightweight.
Okay.
Hmm.
Cool, cool. So let's wrap it up with Dilla Day.
Yes, yes, yes. So real quick, back in college,
Wait, hold
my
on. Before you do that, y'all make sure
mhm.
y'all go to Pretty Dope Dia on Instagram, DM her, and get some of that product because it's good
Thank y'all.
handmade quality jewelry and bags.
Yes.
She been doing it for
Yeah,
years.
and please do, because as mentioned, when y'all heard all of the different things that I do, and y'all know with what I do, we were pretty much closed down first. So like all of our events and everything. So when all of this started happening, we had to cancel all of our events, and this is what I do for a living. So, ask y'all please do support, and I truly appreciate it. I do. But yeah, so with Jay Dilla, so back in college, my friend Mooch Greedy, who I was talking about earlier, she she was telling me like, yeah, we got to meet these guys, Slum Village and stuff. And again, I'm putting them on. Oh, they born and talking all this stuff or whatever. And we all met and didn't really follow up and all that stuff. So move forward. When I moved down here, the day Dilla passed, we were on air. And when I came in, one of my DJs, he was like, yeah, man, JD died today. So I'm thinking he's talking about Jermaine Dupri. So I'm like, oh. Then he was like, Jay Dilla. And I was like, who? Now, mind you,
wow.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew Slum Village, but I didn't know at that time, I didn't know their names individually.
Okay.
So he said that, and it was so funny because how disgusted he looked at me let me know that like, hey, I need to get on track. Yeah. So it was crazy because after that they had this Dilla Changed My Life event, and when I went, I promise y'all, this is no bull. It felt like he was just in there flying through the room, like listening to his music. It was magical. It was something different. So I was like, oh man, I got to get on this. Like, I know I'm late coming to the party, but I got to get on this. So, so somebody introduced me to his uncle who was living here at the time. And, he was telling me, he said, yeah, we're about Uncle Herm. Big shout out to Uncle Herm and Junior, my Dukes, all the family.
Is he back in
Detroit? He was like, he is back in Detroit. He actually opened up a donut shop in Detroit. It's called Dilla. Yes, it's called Dilla's Delights. He's currently here in Atlanta, and I actually just got off the phone with him, and he's going to be making some donuts and stuff. He's going to be making some different treats and stuff while he's here. So if y'all would like to get some while he's in town, make sure y'all hit us up. But yeah, so I met with Uncle Herm. He told me how he was about to do this walk and everything for Dilla. So I'm like, oh, I'm on board. Whatever y'all need, I'm there. Yeah. So we, what I'm saying, got really close, and it was funny because my mama was tired of me, even though she raised us on volunteering and doing all this every extra stuff for the community. Mm-hmm. While I was down here, she like, no, you need to stop doing all that volunteer stuff. You need to get a real job. So I was telling her about the walk, and she was fussing at me about the walk. But one night we were together, I was with Uncle Herm, and he looked at me. He said, what side of town your family from? And I was like, the east side. So he just started naming all my aunties, my mama. He just started calling all my family name out. And I'm like, yo, he said, I've been looking at you like you just look so familiar. You look like some people that I know. So I called my mama. I'm like, Mom, a Herman Hayes. So she's screaming. Come to find out, when my grandmother passed, my mama was like 5 or 6 years old. Mm. When she passed, like our families were really, really close. And my uncle ended up living with Uncle Herm and them family, with Dilla's family for some time. So like our families were really close. So after that, it turned into like, oh no, we're family, So so we just, I went super hard, and it's just been on since. So we did the first Dilla Day ever in the world, was here in Atlanta. We did Dilla Day in the A, and we had like 30 to 40 artists perform one night. It was off the hook.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, we had a lot of artists perform, but now we're actually we just got started with the Dilla Foundation, the Atlanta chapter here in the city. So big shout out to Stash Madison. We will be doing a lot of work, community work, a lot of stuff for the children, a lot of creative events, things for the adults, for those into the arts and everything. But just make sure, if y'all get a chance to follow, the J Dilla Foundation, because Dilla was, in my opinion, one of, especially for our generation, in our generation, he is Detroit's the best thing to come out of Detroit. Eminem, you cool, we love you, whatever. But when it comes to what Detroit is, what I'm saying, like Jay Dilla was a genius. He was so brilliant. So for me, it's just important that as a Detroiter, I put on for him.
Yeah, that's good, man. Y'all doing some good stuff. I remember I went out to one of the walks. That was years ago.
Oh.
years ago, but I went out to one of the walks. I remember that. Had the shirts and all that. We walked through the park.
Yeah,
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 good
yeah.
times, good times.
That's good.
Man, it's been so long.
I know, I know, I know.
It's
Still got it though.
still
Still got
got
it.
it. Still
Still
got
got
it.
it. God is good. Yes, yes, yes. Man, I thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Oh,
I truly do.
no doubt, no doubt. You know I had to have you, man. Had
Thank
to
you,
have you.
bro.
I don't even know, like, I don't know what took me so long. I should have had you like one of the first ones, honestly.
I don't know either. It's all good. You had to work out your look,
Had to
you
work
know,
out my
and
kinks.
make
Yeah, man. I done went
you
through
be
light
good.
issues, sound issues, cutting off. I'm starting to show off wrong. Listen, man.
Right.
Still got my days, but it's we working.
So I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Yeah,
Love seeing this.
appreciate you, man. I'm trying to give me not trying. I aim to get me a talk show. Like that's what I really want to do with this. Like this is what I'm building to up to. Like I want a talk show like a Steve Harvey or you know what I mean? Because I want to help people. And like for this show, it's just basically like I bring people on who are in between. You know, it's like you start your journey, but you're on your journey. You know, from the beginning. I want you to be able to kind of tell people the pitfalls of what the pitfalls of what the path you've taken, what you're doing, how you're doing it. Just give people tips, man, because there's a lot of people out here that don't know what they need to know,
Yeah.
and then you got a lot of gatekeepers that don't want to tell them what they need to know. So
Scared.
that's what I'm here for. I just try to pull things out of people. You know, I appreciate you being transparent, other people coming on here being transparent because whoever watches this, if they're interested in radio, now they can really kind of see from the inside looking out, and they have options. They'll know that it's not
Yeah.
commercial radio that is out there for you. Like you can have your success and do what you love to do if you really just love pouring into
Hmm.
people. Now, if you're chasing the check and you want the fame, like a lot of people do,
Yeah.
then maybe commercial is for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, cool. But if you're really about the people and you really want to play good music, good inspiring music, encouraging
Mhm.
music, and pouring back in, then hey, what you're doing is probably what they need to be doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on, taking the time out. I know it'll be a good conversation because your personality and knowledge and everything
We try.
you're doing, man. So yeah, keep going. And are you still doing any open mics right now?
Yeah. Well, I kind of okay, so right now we're working out the kinks on doing an online version of the Apollo style one, the It's Showtime.
Okay.
So we'll be doing that really, really soon. We'll be announcing that. I did join Dre's the Beatnik with for they quarterly do a show called Play My Ish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something where artists can come get their music played. The crowd picks the favorite song, and so I just joined them with that. But right now I've been focusing a little bit more on doing kind of like your tiny desk type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be featuring more artists, putting them in intimate spaces and allowing them to kind of just really kick back, get interviewed,
Okay.
perform, and all that stuff. So yep. So all of that'll be, it's on my Instagram, and we'll keep y'all posted on all that.
So it's kind of like an unplugged type of thing. Not the
Yep.
same thing, but yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Everything's going digital, man, and it makes it easier for people. You got to be out in the streets,
Yeah.
That's what I got tired of, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It down. God was tugging at my soul. It's
Yeah.
not for me no more. And I fought it and I fought it and I fought it and I fought it. And then I was like, I can't quit. I can't give up. But sometimes you gotta be wise. You gotta be wiser and just know it's not for you anymore.
Yeah.
That's
And you know what? When all of this, when outside is back open to us, like when we can go back
and we
outside,
can just go
I
outside.
think it's right. It's gonna be important that we do still be safe. So
Yeah.
what we're doing is trying to make sure that we create events where it's not about how many people. We want to make sure that we still can kind of create social distance between folks. Like we do paint parties,
Yeah.
the sipping stuff. So so that's where my focus is now. Like not trying to make sure that we have a whole bunch of people, but that we have those that really want to be where they're at.
Yeah.
And and just provide something of quality of substance and stuff for them.
I keep telling people, man, it's a silver lining with all this. This has changed the world already, and it's gonna change the world
Oh
for
yeah.
the better. I think. I think a lot of people are getting creative on how to do things differently, how to reach people differently. You know, you go on Instagram right now, everybody's on live right now, and I don't think that's gonna stop now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I never saw live lit up so much as it is right now because nobody has anything to do. So and they
Yeah.
still want to reach their fans, they still want to touch people. You got people still making money off Zoom doing classes. The
Mhm.
life goes on and you gotta figure it out. You can't just and
Yeah.
give up. Life goes on. So I think it's just forcing people to be more creative from a business standpoint and just a lifestyle standpoint. Uh,
Mhm.
Probably teaching people who felt like they needed a crowd around them all the time that they really don't.
Yeah.
Hope they take that message, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like some people just feel like they're missing out on they feel like you got people out here that always feel like they're missing out on something. So they gotta be part of the crowd. They gotta be part of the in crowd. They gotta be at the party. And this I hope that they can take this time and reflect and say, man, you know what? I'm okay with being by myself. And I'm not saying don't go out and have a good time, but you don't have to always surround yourself with people, you know.
Yeah.
And
And it's funny because I love y'all. I love people, but this is what I love to do most anyway. I love to be
what?
at home creating and stuff
That
like man. So now I can do this and don't be looked at as lazy.
right,
like,
right, right.
man, I've been waiting to be able to just sit down for some time. Only thing that I wish wasn't happening was that people weren't, losing lives and
Yeah,
stuff the way that they are. But other than that, shoot, I'm Gucci.
yeah, for real. I
I am Gucci.
you because creatives, man, we can sit in the house for weeks, and as long
Yeah.
as we're able to have some quiet time and create, I'm good.
Mhm.
I know I'm
I'm
good.
good.
I'm outside because I'm gonna keep myself busy. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna be bored, but I'm gonna be relaxed. I'm gonna be chill, have my chill time. You know what
and have my tea.
Right, and sip on that tea.
Not even, it's so fun. Let me show y'all this real quick before y'all go. So I pulled this out today to drink my water in because I say, I just want to feel like I'm at a party a little bit. So I've been drinking my water out of my margarita glasses today. So I recommend that for everybody too. Please drink y'all water. Please be drinking. Please drink your water. I'm talking drink, drink, drink. That's why everybody teasing folks about buying tissue. Like if you're drinking the water that you're supposed to, you should have a lot of tissue in the house because you're gonna have to go a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, get you a cute glass. Last week I was putting my water in my 40 that I had finished. I had cleaned out my 40. I cleaned out my bottle and was putting my water in there so that I could drink it so I could feel like I was being bad. For
Right.
real, just get that water in y'all system. Put you some lemon, some lime, all that stuff in it to make it good. Just make sure y'all getting that water. Make sure y'all drinking your water right now.
Yeah, you got to. This is the best time to just kind of like revamp everything. Get
Hmm.
yourself right, man. Get yourself right. I know me, man. They done closed the gym down, and I hate working out at home, so I haven't had motivation to do that. But I still feel good though. You know what I mean? I'm getting rest. I'm relaxed.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's all good.
That's what's up.
Sister Soul.
Sister
It's
Soul, yes.
time. You hear me?
Thank you again so much.
No problem, no problem, man. And y'all be on the lookout for her merchandise. Check her out. Check out her
Yeah.
any type of event she's doing, or open mics, or the MTV Unplugged type of thing. Like, just follow her, man. She got a million things going on. Hey, real quick too, shout out your radio crew, man. You didn't say the names.
Oh, I'm sorry. Big shout out to Hollywood Kid. He's ATL Hollywood Kid on Instagram. Shout out to him. That is my producer slash co-host.
Mm.
And then, our DJ squad. So everybody from the Ear Doctor. Ear Doctor is our main DJ. So big shout out to him. We're always looking for other DJs and stuff as well. So if you're a DJ and you have clean music, please contact us. I'm always looking for people that's interested in doing segments. So if you have a good segment, please let us know about that. Yeah. And then, I'm sorry. And then, real quick before I go. So this year I turned 40.
Look at
I know y'all thought I was a little older, but I ain't.
look at you.
Uh,
I thought you were still. I thought you were about 31.
you Cheers, brother. No, but seriously. So I turned 40 this year, and it's not until December, but I'm really excited because I am finishing up my book. My book is a combination of my poems, some of my posts, and then some of my favorite quotes. And then I transcribed some of my favorite interviews. So it's gonna be a real fun, deep, just short stories, just pretty a nice. I'm excited about this book. I've been working on it for years now. So in December for my birthday, I am doing a really big party slash book release and all that.
That's dope.
So I know it's not until December. It's gonna be the first week of December, but I want y'all to get ready. I'm doing a few every year. I do like my Fab Five.
I remember.
So one of them is going to be something where we taking it back to, in Detroit. We a lot of times people do like the Harlem Renaissance things. Detroit had an area called Black Bottom, which was like our Harlem Renaissance. So we're gonna do like a Black Bottom. So I need y'all to get y'all 20s gear, 40s gear, and all that stuff. Get ready, get fly. So we're gonna do a couple different themed parties, but I really want y'all to be at my book release. So
cool, yeah.
I'm gonna be talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about it a whole lot. So yeah, get ready. Matter of fact, KoolKard, I'm gonna have to have you in there doing some red carpet interviews. You know what I'm saying?
We can do it. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Yes. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there because for those that need to book their ticket now and get these cheap flights, book your ticket now. First week in December.
Right, get one for $22 right now, round trip.
Yeah, round trip, shawty.
For real.
Jeez. Yeah.
For real. All right, girl.
Yep. Okay.
It's been real.
Thank y'all.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. Y'all make sure you go check her out. Pretty Dope Deal on Instagram. What are you on Facebook?
Pretty Dope Deal on Instagram.
Well, y'all check
Facebook, I be talking. Facebook, I talk a little too much junk. You know what I'm saying? I talk a little too much.
Y'all keep it. Everybody's on Instagram anyway. Pretty Dope Deal on Instagram. Y'all make sure y'all go check her out, follow her, support everything she's doing. Hey, if you got something good out the show, tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Come through, share it. You guys tune back in every Tuesday. I am here at 10 p.m. I have another guest, and I'll be giving you some value. They'll be giving you some value, dropping that free game on you. So, hey, if you liked it, share it. Thumbs up, subscribe. Do what you like. But I appreciate you tuning in. Dear, appreciate you, girl. It's always good.
Love you, man. See y'all. Take care of yourself.
Yes. All right, and we out.